Hi, my name is Celia Correas, and the topic of my study is about children learning English as a second language. The reason I choose this topic is because where I work, 50% of the children are not English speakers, and I would like to know what happens when a non-English speaking child enters in an English dominant classroom. My research question is what happens when a non-English speaking child enters in an English dominant classroom. This paper seeks to encourage and assist all parents in becoming knowledgeable about the cognitive value for children to know more than one language and be able to provide them with strategies to help the child feel comfortable learning a second language. To realize the objective and extensive literature review is conducted of 5 related articles to help establish an understanding of the study in various fields on the learning of English as a second language. The article's name is How Quickly Can Immigrants Become Fluent in English? A brief overview of individual difference in second language learning, assessing children's home language environments, influence of classroom environment, recast used when preschoolers learning English. The observations were conducted in a Head Start Center, where I am the center administrator. We have 9 classrooms, 2 are bilingual. In the classroom that was observing, both teachers speak English only. With the participants' age, they were 3 and 4 years old, and they are Hispanic. Like if you're here already about Head Start, we see families from low income. My role was the observer in someone else's class because, like I mentioned before, I'm the center administrator of that center. So I was observing one of the bilingual classes, whereas both teachers speak English. I collect my data during center time, group time, small groups. There was around 4 weeks. And the time was between 30 and 45 minutes each observation. I was using observations, conversation with the parents, conversation with the teachers, and a checklist. And also, I was using the Lab 3. And I was collecting all the observations and talking with parents and the teachers during 2 weeks. To analyze all this data, I read through the notes, observations, and conversations that I had with my parents and compare everything. Also, I was able to compare the initial child assessment results from Lab 3. That was done, the initial assessment was done in September 2016. And the other one, the end of the year results that was done the second week of April 2017, and I was focused on the domain, the language domain, and the children who speak clear or no English at home. I notice it's very difficult when they enter to the English classroom. The role of the teacher is critical this time. They have a dual role, providing an encouraging environment and supporting the learners. When classes start, teachers need to work with determination to set up the expected routines for the children. Those included greeting the children in the morning, when they leave, using simple language to assist children to choose different activities. And also using, the basic English when the kids, so they can help them to understand the routines and the expectations of the classroom. One important strategy is to support the children in the learning of the second language is to use a repetition. And we know in early childhood education, the children learn more through repetition. Also, when teachers incorporate the children's first language in different ways, such as labeling the furniture, if it's another child in the classroom that maybe understand more English than the new child, it's good to let them, to be paired, like the body system, so they can help them, to understand the routine of the classroom. We need to let the child orient the child to the classroom routine, displaying books that relates to the child's first language and culture. And I know that after a few weeks, the child that speaks only Spanish is going to be able to socialize with the rest of the children. Even though that we frequently think that young children can learn a second language with little effort, researchers demonstrate that this is not the case. In reality, the process of learning a second language and the process of maintaining the first language at the same time are cognitive and social challenges for young children. On the other hand, during my observation, with the help of the parents and the teacher, I know it's possible for young children to become bilingual. And one of the challenges that we have in Head Start, we are in the need of bilingual teachers. They have the passion, the love, and the patience to work with young children. And it's one of the challenges that I have on my centers. There's 9 classrooms, and I have like more than 50% of the children, they are Hispanic, where the Spanish is the first language. And I have only 3 bilingual teachers. So, and it's one of the main problems that we have in Head Start, that we short in bilingual teachers. And thank you for listening to my videos, and have a nice summer. Thank you.